Hey there, welcome back to Math Time with Ms. B, where I show you examples of math concepts, break them down, and show you that math really isn't such a big, scary monster. I'm going to be posting a video a day, so like, subscribe, so you don't miss one. Remember, you can always comment below or on my Discord if you want to see a specific question or another concept in a later video. So let's get started. Today we are doing factoring trinomials when a equals 1. Okay, remember that all of my steps are going to be here on the right-hand side, and I will label them, number them as I show the work on the left. Okay, so when we look at this, we are factoring. Factoring means breakdown. Okay, so we're going to break this down into two things that multiply to get back to where we are. If you look at my title, trinomial just means three terms. So this works for three terms, and then your a needs to equal 1. This is coming from standard form. Okay. What we have here is the standard form of a quadratic. So this is in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, so that means that a is going to be equal to 1. That comes from here. B is going to be equal to negative 12. We always take the sign with the number. And c is going to equal 32. Okay, these are the numbers that we will use to figure this out. This process works when your a equals 1. Okay, so what we're going to first set up is our little binomials. So we're going to have two sets of parentheses. Binomial means two terms. So we're going to have 1, 2, and then 1, 2. We already know that there's going to be an x in both, because once again, if we were to multiply this back together, we have to get back to where we started. That would be x squared. X times x is x squared. That's our first term. That's what we want. Okay. Next, what we have to do is we have to find two numbers that when we multiply them together, we equal 32. That's our C term. And when we add these two numbers together, we're going to get negative 12. This is my B term. Okay. We're going to start with the factors of 32. All right, I just need two numbers that multiply to equal 32. Okay. One thing to also note here is that this number, when we multiply, we have to have a positive. Okay, positive number. That means we're multiplying a negative times a negative or a positive times a positive. Your signs have to be the same. Okay, when we add, however, we're ending up with a negative. Okay, the only way to end up with a positive number when you multiply and a negative number when you add is you need to have a negative times another negative, because a negative plus a negative is going to give you another negative number. Okay, and that's what we want sign-wise. So we know both of our numbers are going to be negative. So let's take a look at 32 factors. What two numbers multiply to equal 32? Okay, well, let's try 2 and 16. Okay, remember, both signs have to be the same in order to multiply to be a positive, but we need them to be negative so that when we add them, we get a negative number. This comes out to be negative 18 when you add them. That's not what we want, so we're going to strike through that one. What are two more numbers that multiply to equal 32? How about a 4 and an 8? Again, they both need to be negative, so when we add, we get a negative number. And when we multiply, we get a positive number. So when we add negative 4 and negative 8, we get negative 12. That's the number we're looking for. These are the two numbers we're looking for. Okay, this process right here is your step 1. Finding those two numbers that when you multiply them give you your C, and when you add them give you your B term. Okay, so we are going to have a -4 and a -8. -4, -8. Those two numbers go in our parentheses. So -4, -8. If you switched them around and wrote -8, -4, that's completely acceptable. And the beauty of this is we are done. If we were to FOIL this back together, multiply these two back together, we would get right back where we started at x squared minus 12x plus 32. Okay? So that's it for this video. If you need to see another one, let me know. If you need to see a different concept, let me know, and I'll show you in a future video. I'll see you guys later, and remember, you got this.